أبي الفضل العباس ابن أمير المؤمنين علي بن أبي طالب صلوات الله وسلامه عليه was born on the 4th of Sha'ban in the 26th year after Hijrah in the holy city of Medina, and was martyred on the 10th of Muharram in the 61st year after Hijrah on the plains of Karbala. He is revered to being the embodiment of patience, bravery, and courage and loyalty. And indeed, he is viewed as being one of the most ferocious warriors in the religion of Islam. For indeed, you see, Fatima al-Zahra salawatullah wa salamuhu alayha was martyred in the 11th year after Hijrah. Abbas ibn Ali was born on the 26th year after Hijrah. Hence you find there is a 15-year gap between the martyrdom of Fatima al-Zahra and the birth of Qamar Bani Hashim Abul Fadl al-Abbas. The question that arises is, did Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib marry Ummul Baneen straight away or no? Amir al-Mu'mineen married a number of women. For example, he married Umamah. He married Asma bint Umays, the mother of Mohammed ibn Abi Bakr. He married Khawla bint Ja'far, the mother of Muhammad ibn al-Hanafiyyah. And then he wanted to marry a lady whom will bring him a son or sons that are the bravest of warriors. And hence, he married Ummul Baneen. What did he do? He went to Aqil, his brother. He said to him, in Medina at that time, in the Rasulullah's mosque, inside the mosque there were 4 individuals who would sit on carpets. They would sit on individual carpets. One of them was Aqil. Amir al-Mu'mineen went up to Aqil. He was known, these people were known to being the people of Ansab, the genealogies. He went up to his brother. He said to him, "Oh my brother, I want you to find me a lady whom will bring me from her ancestors, they have the bravest of warriors." Aqil said to him, "Give me 1 month and I will find you that lady." Aqil went, he did his research, and he came back after a month and he said to Amir al-Mu'mineen, "I have found you the lady and there is only this one lady." Amir al-Mu'mineen said, "Who is it?" He said, "It's Fatima al-Kilabiyya." He said, "What's her ancestry?" He said, "She has some of the most ferocious warriors as her ancestors." Aqil said to him, "Have you heard of Mula'ab al-Asinna?" Amir al-Mu'mineen said, "Yes." Do you know Mula'ab al-Asinna, what his hobby was? His hobby was that he would be chasing wild animals. Instead of the wild animals chasing him, he would chase them. Then he mentioned Amr bin Sa'sa'a, who was a renowned wrestler of the lions. Then he mentioned Abu al-Barra and al-Mulahhal. He mentioned the ancestry one by one, proving to Amir al-Mu'mineen that Fatima al-Kilabiyya has the bravest and the most courageous and ferocious of warriors as her ancestors. Amir al-Mu'mineen married her. When she came into his house, she said to him, "Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I want you to change my name." He said to her, "Why?" She said to him, "Every time I see you and you mention the name Fatima, I see you and I see there are tears that come down from your eyes." It shows that Amir al-Mu'mineen still had the affection for Fatima al-Zahra, salawatullah wa salamuhu alayha. That even after her death, he still had that affection for Fatima. He changed her name to Ummul Baneen, the mother of the sons. And what sons did she bring him? 4 sons. Abbas ibn Ali on the 26th year after Hijrah. 10 years later, Abdullah on the 36th year after Hijrah. 2 years after that, on the 38th year after Hijrah, she brought him Uthman ibn Ali. And 2 years after that, just before the martyrdom of Amir al-Mu'mineen, she brought him a son by the name of Ja'far. two questions arise. Amir al-Mu'mineen, did he call his son Abbas so that it's a characteristic that affects him, or is it a name with no meaning? He called him Abbas so that the word affects him. How? What does Abbas mean? Abbas means the person that frowns while on the battlefield, so that when he emerges on the battlefield, his presence is felt among the enemy, and they know he's not come for a joke, he's come for business, he's come to finish them off. أبا الفضل العباس ابن أمير المؤمنين. The second question that arises is, why did he name his son Uthman? Was it after Uthman ibn Affan? As in, Uthman was born on the 38th year after Hijrah. Uthman ibn Affan died 2 years earlier. Did he name his son after Uthman ibn Affan or no? He didn't. He called him after Uthman bin Mad'un. Uthman bin Mad'un was who? He was one of the greatest companions of Amir al-Mu'mineen. He was the 14th convert into the religion of Islam, and he was known by Amir al-Mu'mineen to be a man of piety, a man that in the time of Jahiliyyah never touched alcohol. And hence what you find is that Amir al-Mu'mineen had a very, very close relationship with Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas that can be seen on many occasions. The first appearance for Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas was in the age of 11 in the Battle of Siffin. In the Battle of Siffin, one of the commanders of Muawiyah's army by the name of Ibn al-Shaza' came out. And he said, let Ali ibn Abi Talib come out and fight me one-on-one. Either I will kill him or one of my sons. He had 7 sons. Imagine, either this man's a crazy person or he's a very, very, very brave man. As in, Ali's CV on the battlefield up until that day is quite good. You see, for example, in the Battle of Badr, 35 out of 70 by Ali Zulfiqar. Never mind the other battles. Amir al-Mu'mineen looked at Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas and said to him, come here next to me. He came next to him. He said to him, I want you to go out there, and I want you to wear a mask when you fight. And do not tell them who you are until I tell you. And whenever one of his sons comes out, I want you to attack him. The first came out, he finished him. The second came out, he finished him. The third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh, Abbas finished them all. The father came out, said, Ali, I will finish you in the way you finished my sons. He finished him as well. Muawiyah's army were wondering, does Ali ibn Abi Talib finish people off in that way? They said, Ali, take off your mask. Remove your mask. At that moment, Amir al-Mu'mineen, Asadullah al-Ghalib, Ali ibn Abi Talib, came out from the back of the battlefield, riding his horse. He came out and he stood next to Abbas. Abbas was wearing the mask. They said, Abbas looked at him, he looked at his father. Shall I tell them who I am? He said to him, not yet. They asked again, take off your mask, tell us who you are. No response. On the third occasion, Amir al-Mu'mineen looks at Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas and tells him, tell them who you are. He looks at them and he removes his mask slowly. And he tells them, Ana Qamar Bani Hashim Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. I am the moon of Bani Hashim Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas. They said, there are already 2 moons in the army of Muhammad, Hassan and Hussein. He said, they are the sons of Muhammad and I am the son of Ali. And it is the role of the sons of Ali to protect the sons of Muhammad. And this proved and showed them that Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas was indeed a commanding warrior. And he was no one to be taken for a joke. And when you read the ziyarah of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, it's not only that he's a mujahid. Of his qualities is not only that he's a mujahid. When you read his ziyarah, what does it say? Na'mal mujahid as-sabir. As-sabir, why? Because even before Karbala, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas had to be patient. Where? When Imam al-Hassan, his older brother, was martyred, Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas had to be patient. Imam Hassan wanted to be buried where? He wanted to be buried next to his grandfather Rasulullah. However, certain political figures, including Aisha and Marwan ibn al-Hakam, didn't allow this. They said, take his body out. As it was taken out, arrows enshrouded the body of Imam al-Hassan. Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas's patience had reached the limit. He looked at Abu Abdullah and he said to him, let me fight them. Let me at them. That's my big brother. Abu Abdullah told him, be patient. You will have your moment. He listened to Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. And that's why when Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas wanted to get married, he went to his mother Ummul Baneen. Ummul Baneen said to him, no one can decide who you marry except Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Look at the love, the devotion that she has for Abu Abdullah. Nobody can decide who you marry except Abu Abdullah. So he went up to Abu Abdullah. Abu Abdullah told him, marry Zakiyah, the daughter of Al-Fadl bin Ubaidullah bin Abbas. Two narrations. One mentions he had 4 sons, 3 present in Karbala. The other mentions 2 sons, Al-Fadl, hence Abu al-Fadl, and the second by the name of Ubaidullah. Who was Ubaidullah? The one who was in the hands of Ummul Baneen when she heard about Karbala, and he fell. He was dropped onto the floor. And that's why when Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib was on his deathbed, he gave a wasiyah to all his children. Sayyidah Zainab came, her wasiyah was to Imam al-Hassan. Imam Hussein came, his wasiyah was to Imam al-Hassan. Kulthum came, her wasiyah was to Imam al-Hassan. Baneen then came and said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, my son Abbas, you've given a wasiyah to all of them, but my son you haven't. He said to her, go and call Abbas. She went and called Abbas. Abbas came. He took Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas's hands and put them with his hands. And may Allah bless those hands. And he said to him, my wasiyah to you is with that stranger Abu Abdullah. I want you to stand by him. And you see when he went to collect that water, the lines of poetry he recites are unbelievable. It goes to show you a man that had devoted his whole life for Abu Abdullah. يا نفس من بعد الحسين هوني وبعده ما كنت أن تكوني هذا الحسين وارد المنون وتشربين بارد المعين تالله ما هذا فعل ديني. He goes, he picks up the water. As he picks it up, he wants to drink it. Imagine the thirst of Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas, days of thirst. He wants to drink it, then he starts to speak with himself. He goes, oh self, after Hussein there is revival, but after this life there is humiliation if you're not on his way. This is Hussein drinking the syrup of death while you drink the syrup of this cold water. He didn't accept it. This indicates a man that selflessly was giving everything away to the religion of Islam. And that's why no fitter words are more fitting than Abu Abdullah's words when Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas was gasping his last breaths. Al-an inkasara dhahri. Now my back is broken. That's why Imam Zayn al-Abidin salawatullah wa salamuhu alayhi, he says, Rahimallah ammi al-Abbas. Laqad athara وفدى وواسى أخاه بنفسه فأعطاه الله جناحين عوض يديه كما صنع لجعفر بن أبي طالب وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى اللهم على سيدنا محمد وآل بيته الطيبين.